I'm Brian Miller. I'm the CEO, Director, and co-founder of Astra Exploration, and we're focused on precious metals in South America. Two countries of interest, Chile and Argentina. We've got 3 projects. We're currently drilling on a project in Argentina. Made new discoveries there recently. High-grade gold and silver near surface, and a system that's wide open in every direction. Several catalysts coming up. It's a very exciting time for us as a company.
It's a great year. It's a great year.
Transformational.
Yeah, look, but we've just spent the last week in Toronto at PDAC, and there's a few meetings we're having outside of that as well. I mean, have you found the kind of investor interest in your story?
How have I found it exceeding all expectations? It was a fantastic week.
Yeah, well, I think it's off the back of some fantastic drilling. I'm not surprised. Obviously, gold and silver doing their thing as well. So the types of investors you were seeing here, how do you profile them?
So there's several events. I was at MIF for 2 days, and then PDAC, and we did the 1-to-1 through Precious Metals Summit. So the range of investors was broad, from the retail investor, family offices, producing companies, funds, you name it. It was everything, and there was a notable difference, I think, in the caliber of investors who are looking right now.
Right. Okay. Like I said, it's sort of come off the back of some quite eye-catching headlines in terms of the grades that you're achieving, certainly down in Argentina. We'll pop up to Chile in a second. Can you tell us what has there been with regards to the drill planning? What have you been chasing down there? Just describe the ore body and what it is that you're seeing.
La Manchuria is the project in Argentina, and it is a low sulphidation epithermal system, so high-grade gold-silver veins. There's really kind of a 2-part story to this. It's a deposit that was previously drilled as a shallow, bulk disseminated deposit, and it had a very small resource put together here many years back, but it had never been drilled deep. What our interpretation of this system was that it presented a great opportunity to make a discovery, like a high-grade feeder system, a Cerro Negro type discovery. So you've got the plumbing of the system that really feeds this near-surface bulk disseminated system. And so that's our primary focus, but what we're also seeing here is an expanding footprint of this disseminated system. And so there's really kind of the 2 parts. The primary, the big prize is that high-grade feeder system, but the runner-up, if you'll want to call it the Plan B, is a disseminated bulk tonnage system that's wide open and continuing to grow very rapidly.
Okay. And with regards to the drilling so far, how many meters have you done?
The very first program we did last year, we did 2,500 meters in 11 holes.
Okay.
We just completed 5,000 meters late last year in 25 holes, and we've got 13 of those holes back and released now. We're waiting on the next 12, so we still have 12 holes that will most likely get out by the end of the month.
Okay, so you just sort of in early days in terms of getting stuck into this thing. It sounds relatively shallow, but is that right?
Very shallow. The deepest hole on here when we got this was, I think, less than 200 vertical meters.
Yeah. I was trying to do the math in my head there. Okay, so the plan for 12 more holes to come over the next few weeks, presumably?
Yeah, I would presume by the end of the month.
Bit busy out there, a lot of drilling going on.
A lot of drilling going on.
Right, okay. And you expect, is it kind of more of the same, or are you starting to understand the plumbing of this system now?
The approach to this, we raised $6.2 million last year, and that gave us enough money to do at least 10,000 meters of drilling. So we split that up into 2 parts, 5,000 meters and then a second 5,000 meters, which we'll start that second 5,000 meters here in about a month. But the idea was with that first 5,000 meters, we focused on the near surface targets to maximize the number of holes and really show that this footprint was much bigger than previously interpreted.
Mm-hmm. Remind me where you picked the asset up from. You did tell me last time out.
Yeah, it's a company called Patagonia Gold.
That was it.
Yeah,
okay.
They're one of the largest claim owners in the Deseado Massif in Argentina. They're also putting one in a project of theirs into production in the Rio Negro province, Calcatro. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of good projects in that company.
Yeah, no, I know them. So in terms of the plan for this year down in Argentina, you're talking about sort of twin track process that you're going to go through here in terms of allocating time, resource, capital, all of that, and more importantly, I guess, drill holes. How does that break down in 26?
We're talking just for Argentina?
Just in Argentina, yeah.
So we've right now we've got about $4 million in cash, which gets us through this upcoming 5,000 meters of drilling. Yeah. We'll have about $1 million left over when we complete that.
And this is kind of seasonal thing, is it?
You can drill year round here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's about 3 months out of the year where the weather gets kind of iffy. They get their winters down there, which start about June or so.
Right.
Not much snow. If you do get snow down there, it doesn't stick around a while, but the biggest thing is the wind. They've got some pretty good wind down there.
Right, okay. And for you, in terms of operating in country, obviously it seems like a new jurisdiction now in a way with sort of the melee coming in, etc. It's always been obviously very prolific, but a difficult place for foreign direct investment. How are things operating on the ground for you these days?
Very well.
Yeah.
We're in Santa Cruz, which it really does depend provincially. But yes, as far as the federal government goes, quite a different jurisdiction. And we've noted the emphasis on the government's trying to get things streamlined and fast-track things, so permitting.
Right. Okay.
There is definitely a noticeable effort there.
Right, okay. And so the permitting processing and licensing for you has been sort of easier. In terms of like maybe any kind of future works or future ambition in Argentina, is that a place that you think you can see yourself seeing more business, looking for more opportunities, or have you got enough on your plate?
Absolutely. Argentina, just as far as prospectivity, is spectacular. And a lot of these places are actually relatively young exploration jurisdictions. Argentina's been a political pendulum that's swung back and forth for some time. But I think that the change we've seen recently with Milei's administration has been the most positive and the most drastic we've seen in a generation. And there's a ton of new investment capital flowing into Argentina, so quite encouraging on that front.
Yeah, and let's bounce up to Chile, and then we'll bring it all back together and wrap it up in terms of where the company's going. So, Chile, maybe talk about the project up there. What have you guys been up to recently?
The Chilean projects have really been kind of on the back burner since we picked up La Manchuria in Argentina. I always try to emphasize that while they're not getting much in the spotlight right now, those are solid projects that I think are going to add a lot of value to the company. They're going to have their day, particularly with the election results in Chile recently. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of renewed interest in Chile. And we have Pampa Paciencia, which we did some drilling on a few years ago. It's by Spence and Sierra Gorda copper mines. That's a big epithermal system. It also has a really nice copper target on it, and that's one of the things we've liked about it. What's a copper discovery right next to 2 operating mines worth in this environment? The other one is in the Maricunga, and that's actually our favorite technical target. That's a fantastic high sulphidation epithermal target, and it's like Solaris Norte, similar to Solaris Norte, which Goldfields just commissioned. But you've got, in the Maricunga, you've got Goldfields commissioning Solaris Norte recently. You've got Rio 2 putting Phoenix into production. So that belt is becoming active again, and our project Cerro Bayo is, which we are going to rename. There's 2 of those, and it gets kind of confusing, but that one's gaining a lot of traction here lately.
And holding on to these things, if you're not doing too much on them, you talk about has some value. I mean, has some value, we'll get back to it and do some drilling. Has some value, we can spin it out or find some sort of partner who wants to kind of come into it. What are you thinking there? Because obviously having projects in different jurisdictions is quite good from a de-risking perspective. You never quite know what's around the corner jurisdictionally these days. How are you viewing it?
I think with our team and their experience and expertise and local presence, our head of exploration, Diego Guido, is based in Buenos Aires. He's lived there his whole life. Our VP and country manager, Roberto, is based in Santiago. He's lived there his whole life. They've both worked extensively in Chile and Argentina. So quite plugged into both jurisdictions. And I think that gives us an advantage that a lot of companies don't enjoy. Now, as far as getting things done on either one of the projects, we weren't in too big of a hurry to do anything with Chile until we really saw how Argentina shaped up. But now that we see that unfolding the way it is, and with the new discovery of a new vein here recently, this week, I think we'll be able to figure something out to unlock some value from both of those.
Okay, yeah, okay. That makes sense, because obviously, you know, where you are in the mix in terms of the size of the company, and obviously access to capital in markets like this is good if you've got a big, solid story, but if you're spreading yourself thin, it's not necessarily what the market reacts to, and maybe it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, you do have to be careful of that. I think that there's capacity to create value with each project, but you do have to be careful of spreading yourself thin. That is one thing about our team and the network that we do have. We've got a good enough network, especially in South America, that we're able to add on consultants as we need them. We've got quality people that we can reach out to directly, we've worked with in the past. And so that works really well that way for as business picks up and slows down, we can react rather nimbly.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, a lot of interest in Chile at the moment. You know, epicenter for copper projects, and if you've got some gold in there, it kind of helps as well. So you park that up for now, leave that. So therefore, the company's sort of main message to the market at the moment is Argentina. It's high grade. We're getting after this thing. We've got some money now, but we would expect you to kind of raise more money later this year to kind of get after this thing? Is that what I'm buying into?
That's the idea.
Okay.
Making some assumptions that I think obviously we have catalyst events in the near term that can and will drive a re-rate in the share price. We don't do a lot of paid promotion marketing.
Yeah.
We did this conference here, and that's some of our biggest marketing. And I think yesterday people woke up to, oh, here's what Astra is. And
Yeah.
we saw some really good buying in the market after this conference. And so, yes, we'll get after it more aggressively with Argentina.
Yeah.
Increase the number of drilling. This is a place we can drill year round. We will be doing some work at Cerro Bayo in Chile here in the next month or so.
What type of work?
Just some pre-drill work, so some alteration mapping,
Okay.
some sampling, that kind of stuff. So smaller scale, smaller expense stuff, get it to a drill-ready state.
Okay, fine. Okay, so you did. I saw that little uptick after yesterday in the market. People have been buying for sure. So this is just a story about like, be aware of us. So get your name out there. Be aware in terms of what you're getting out of the ground. So you can definitely compete and stand up with the best of them. Quite frankly, at the moment. The team is what it is. You're not sort of. I'm trying to think. Sometimes when people get excited, they kind of the G&A rises and goes through the roof. For you guys, you've got the team that you want on the ground in Argentina. That's it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's everything. Is the people involved, and that's why we have the quality of projects that we do. That's why we've had the results that we've had. The team and their experience and their careers all speaks for themselves.
And the drill. How many drills have you got going?
We don't have any right at the moment. We'll start here in about a month. We had 2 drills on the program.
Okay, and you stick with that?
Most likely, yeah. For now.
For now.
For now.
Okay. Well, look, we're following you with great interest. Really are, actually, because when we kind of first came across you guys middle of last year, it was intriguing. But then when the drill results started coming out, it's clear that you've got something there. Now you just need to get after it. So.
That's right, and we got the market to do that.
And you got the market to do that, that's for sure. So keep doing your thing.
All right.
Cheers.
Will do.